Chris, it's great to see you here at the Salon this year. And this year you have a partnership with someone who, for me as a Brit, is a bit of a household name.
Yeah, absolutely. Professor Brian Cox, astrophysicist, but probably a household name because of his podcast and his live shows, where he's really bringing astrophysical content to you and me and making those concepts sort of tangible. And in a year where we have the eternal calendar and perpetual calendars touching the universe, it helps to have somebody like Brian to bring some of the grander concepts around the science to our audience.
And of course, a lot of the international audience won't know him as a pop star, but Brian Cox was this 90s pop star in Britain. So bringing in this notion of kind of music plus science, which is something that your longtime collaborator, Hans Zimmer, also does.
Absolutely. And it was fascinating because Brian and Hans know each other from a live show they did with Interstellar, I think in the Royal Opera House a few years ago. And they actually ended up collaborating on the piece of music for IWC Portuguesa together, with Brian adding the finishing touches. And again, just to express a mood and atmosphere in music, in science, and in watchmaking, it's really just a nice rounded story to bring Portuguesa together.
Yeah, I bet. And amazing to be working with someone like Hans Zimmer, for sure. I wonder what all of this means for your younger audience and whether you find that actually they're getting involved with that. We've heard a lot this year about the average age here at the Salon reducing. It's about 35 years old. There's this sort of desire to engage the younger generation. How does IWC approach that?
Yeah, I think we as an industry have been very lucky that over the last couple of years, we've seen an outburst of interest from a much younger audience, and mechanical watches have become increasingly popular. And to see the audience now also coming to events like Watches and Wonders is a great opportunity to really interact much more closely with a completely new fan base. And that means also that we now have an audience that, thanks to social media, is extremely well informed. And I'm time and again mesmerized when I see young customers come to us, how much they know about watchmaking. And I think in this digital age, there's this longing for something mechanical, something grounded, something permanent that will last. And I think it's a fantastic development for us as an industry.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, those young people are watching things like this. So they'll be hearing you now and glad to hear that. Chris, great to speak to you as ever, and enjoy the rest of the session.
Thank you, Belle.